Hello everyone, welcome to JeniferJourneys. If you've been here before, you probably know that I thru-hiked the PCT in 2018, and then you might be wondering where I've been since then. Well, basically I've been working and saving up for my next big adventure, which I'm excited to announce that in 2021 I will be thru-hiking the Continental Divide Trail. I'm really excited to get back on trail and excited to be able to share that. So today I basically just want to give you a rundown of the gear that I plan to take with me when I start trail here shortly. As we go through, I'll show you the weights of each item, and then we get to the end, we'll total it all up and you can see what my starting base weight will be. You can see what I've changed from the PCT, and I'll kind of point out the gear that's pretty new to me that I'll be testing out on the CDT. So let's get started. Here's what I'm planning on bringing with me. All right, lots of stuff to talk about here. So let's start with the clothes that I plan to wear on a daily basis. I will bring a hat with me. It will be one, not two. I'll either bring just a regular ball cap or maybe this floppy hat. I haven't decided. But one hat, at least one buff. I might carry two. I love carrying a buff just to protect my skin because I'm a pale creature. And then the shirt I will be hiking in is one that I've had for a while. I've already been using it a lot. This is basically a hiking shirt by the company Cool. What I really like about it is that hood. Once again, pale, sun protection, lots of exposure on the CDT. So that's the shirt I plan to use. Long sleeve, of course. I also prefer to hike in pants. A lot of people do shorts. I think just, whatever works for you. I like having the extra protection on my legs. I also get cold. So that. These are another pair of pants that I've been using already. So, they've worked for me on lots of other shorter trips that I've been on. These are by Columbia. Yeah. So those are already a solid pair of pants for me. All right. I will hike in a pair of Darn Tough socks, cheap sports bra that I got from Walmart, and ex officio underwear. It's the same ones I used on the PCT. And then I've also picked up some sun gloves. I just got these off of Amazon. You can see that the brand appears to be, Glacier Glove. Haven't really tried those out yet, so we'll see if I like those. Another thing I'll be trying out is these shoes. So on the PCT, I hiked in Ultra Lone Peaks. This is a new brand for me. The brand is Topo Athletic, and these are their Ultra Ventures. Some things I wanted to try out about these, first let me say, like the Ultras, they have a wide toe box. I have found that to be very important for my hikes. I hate having my toes cramped. I have a little bit of a wider foot anyway, and so I'm a huge fan of that wide toe box. But unlike the Ultras, they're not zero drop. They're what's considered low drop. So there's a 5 millimeter drop, and what that means is that the heel sits 5 millimeters higher than the ball of your foot. Basically, I wanted to try it. I liked the Ultras, but what I'm hoping to get from this shoe is just a little more support and then durability out of this midsole here. So I haven't used these much, so hopefully they work well for me. We'll find out soon. And then I will be carrying with me these trekking poles. These are new for me as well. These are the Zpacks. I know they're carbon fiber. I don't know what their name is, but let's see. Carbon. Anyway, yep, another newly acquired piece of gear. And now let's look at the clothing that I will be carrying with me and obviously wearing sometimes. We'll start with this puffy coat up here. This is different than what I used on the PCT, but I have had this for a little while, but I've used it pretty sparingly. So this is the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. I'm excited to see how well that performs. What I used on the PCT was a budget item here. 32 Degrees, I think was the company. I paid like $30 for this, maybe. It's really not as nice, but it did perform really well for me. And I think I'm only want to show you that just so you know that you can find items that are much, much cheaper that still work. And this did great for me on the PCT. It's super torn up though, and just like filthy, even though it's been washed. So it's time for that one to end its life. And like I said, I'll be excited to give that one a try on the CDT, this one, I mean. Base layers, both the top and the bottom are Patagonia Capeline. I think they're both the mid-weight. These bottoms are exactly what I carried on the PCT. They did great for me. This top I picked up at a thrift store for like $4, and it's done really well. So that's what I will sleep in. A few other stay warm things. These are the same socks that I carried on the PCT. This is what I regularly slept in. They are just warm, fuzzy socks, and they keep my feet really warm when I'm sleeping, and that's why I bring them. And if it isn't broken, don't fix it, right? Like, this works for me. Some other things to try. These are a pair of waterproof socks that I've recently picked up. I dislike the feeling of wet socks and shoes, and I'll put up with it, like, sure, but I just wanted to try and see if I liked waterproof socks. So I'll probably bring those along, test them out. Also, sometimes my hands get really cold, like especially in the mornings if I'm trying to pack up my stuff, and it just feels like I just have ice clubs at the end of my wrists. So these are a pair of gloves that I picked up off of Amazon. You can see that they're actually work gloves, but they're waterproof and they have some insulation inside there. So that's another thing to bring along, try out. And I will carry an extra pair of underwear, Darn Tough socks, and cheap sports bra from Walmart. For my rain gear, I am sticking with Frogg Toggs. This is not the exact pair that I carried on the PCT. Those ones lasted the whole PCT, but then I tore them up doing other adventures afterwards. So this is a new set of Frogg Toggs. The reason I'm sticking with these is because they're actually waterproof. They're light and they're cheap and they're waterproof. I would not say that they are durable, and I would not say that they are especially breathable, but the other things matter a little bit more to me. So sticking with the Frogg Toggs, they were solid for me on the PCT. You can try them out again on the CDT. I got some new sandals for camp shoes. These are the Veracruz Sandals by Zero Shoes. So far, I really like these. I haven't used them a ton, but they have this really nice grippy tread on the bottom, and of course they're very light and minimal. And I finally wore out the little girl Tevas that I carried on the PCT, and so I'm excited to give these a try. And then just some other random accessories. This is a head net that I know I won't need for most of trail, but it's so light that for me it's worth it to have it in my pack, because when mosquitoes do really suck, this is a great thing to have, and then not worry about getting it shipped to the right mosquito-y place. And then a pair of sunglasses. I don't always even wear these, but it's nice to have a pair when you do want them. Moving along here, let's talk about food. This is a new food bag for me. This is the bear bagging kit by Lite AF, Dyneema fabric, so very, very light. And then in here is a carabiner, some rope or cord to be able to hang a bear bag, and there's a cool little stick in there too, so you can do it's called the PCT hitch, actually. And this is just a little odor-proof, supposedly, bag that I'll probably put my food in to help deter some critters, or at least try not to be noticed by them. I do have a new stove I'm going to be trying out for the CDT. This is the Soto Windmaster stove. I carried this little guy on the PCT, the BRS stove that you can find pretty cheap on Amazon. I was actually planning on carrying this on the CDT as well, but then someone gave me this as a gift, and I have tested it, and I do like it. And it's honestly quite light as well. Not quite as light as this, but still pretty light. And it's supposed to be really good in the wind, and so excited to try that out. I will probably still carry this little mini Bic lighter. I don't even need it because this stove has its own little lighter, but this little guy was with me the entire PCT and then multiple trips afterwards, and it's just still going. And so just out of habit, it's probably going to stay in my cook kit. My pot here is the Toaks titanium 700 milliliter pot. This was also with me on the PCT. Did great. Really liked it, as well as the Toaks titanium long-handled spoon. Another item that I used on the PCT, really liked, so I didn't want to change that. And then this is just a little rubber band to hold that all together. All right, let's talk water filtration. So I will be carrying the Sawyer Squeeze. This is the mini that I carried on the PCT. Gonna say goodbye to that and go ahead and go with the slightly bigger one that's supposed to have a much better flow rate. I've actually used this in the past and been fine, but I think I will like having this, and I wanted to give it a try. So most of the time, the way that I use these filters, they go right on top of a Sawyer water bottle, not Sawyer, Smart Water bottle, and I just drink right out of them. I don't do any of the squeezing. You can use this bag or anything really to squeeze it into another container, and then you have filtered water. Too lazy for that. So I usually, this goes right on here, drink right out of it. In the past, I've used this little lid to back flush the filter. May do that. I'm considering actually carrying the little plunger that's meant to back flush this, just to see if it does do a better job. So there you have the water filtration system. Let's move on to a few other things here. So these are packing cubes, and this is just something, again, that I'm trying out. I may not bring all 3 of these, but because I've switched to a backpack that doesn't have as many pockets as the one I used in the past, I thought it might be nice to have a bit more of an organization system. So we'll see how I like those. Other storage things, this is a fanny pack by ThruPack. Decided to get this mainly because I was jealous of people who had them by the end of trail, because I was such a hungry little hiker that I ran out of room for all my snacks. So I think I will carry the fanny pack, see if I like that, mainly for snackage. And then picked up a little Dyneema sack. I believe this is by Ultralight Zpacks, and that is what I plan to use as my wallet. Put some cards and cash and stuff in there. Okay, let's move on to toiletries and bathroom stuff. We'll start with the bathroom kit over here on the left. I like to carry a pee style. This is a stand to pee device. I really like this thing. I carried it on the PCT. Absolutely loved it. Love to be able to do my business without taking my pants off. It's just great. And then this is new to try out. This is called a Culo Clean. See if I can get that to focus. There you go. Culo Clean. And basically this is a portable bidet. Screws right on top of a water bottle, and then you can use it to help clean your bum. I have been trying this out at home. I haven't taken it on trail yet. So we'll see how it works. I don't think it will eliminate my need for toilet paper and such, and I don't think it's going to be practical in areas where I really don't have a lot of water. But it's really small and light, and I am excited to try it out. I think it will be a helpful tool in the hygiene department. And then this is a menstrual cup. This year, that's a switch I've made in general, and I have been a fan of that. And so I'll be bringing that with me on trail, and hopefully that will, I don't know, make trail periods even more manageable. We'll find out. Okay, some other toiletries. Have this teeny tiny toothbrush. I got that off of Garage Grown Gear's website. This is a little container that I don't always do this, but, and this is a bigger one that I meant to get, but sometimes I'll carry my own shampoo or something like that, because sometimes you just don't always have access. You might have a shower, but no soap or whatever. And again, I don't always do that, but sometimes I do. Contact case, glasses case, and then bottle for contact solution and toothpaste. More odds and ends here. This is something that I want to try out this summer. This is a Lightload Towel. Basically, it's just a quick drying towel. This is what it looks like when you buy them. They come super small and wadded up. On the PCT, I carried basically a full-size microfiber travel towel. I can actually show you that, one second. Okay, sorry. All right, so this is definitely a bit of a luxury item, but I carried that with me, and I liked having it. I really do. I like being able to dry off, wrap a towel around me, but I know that it's something that I don't really need, and so I'll probably carry a couple of these on trail this time. Use them obviously to dry myself when I get out of the shower, but then also they can be used to wipe down like condensation on my tent, or this like an extra towel to clean up your cook kit. They have multiple uses, and I'm excited to see how I like those. First aid kit / repair kit. There's quite a bunch of stuff in here at the moment. Some safety pins, sewing kit, nail clippers, some tweezers. This is just a little like pocket knife, an extra lighter with some duct tape. These tiny scissors come in super handy for cutting like thread, for example, or cutting little pieces of gauze or tape to do blister treatment, stuff like that. Yeah, and then, and then some bandages, gauze, that kind of stuff. So, there's a decent amount of stuff in here right now. I tend to carry more than I need in this category, but I don't know. When you want it, you have it. All right, electronics. I will be carrying a backup battery. This is the same one I carried on the PCT. It's a 10,000 milliamp hour battery by Anker, however that is pronounced. Charging cords for that and my phone. An extra pair of headphones, headlamp. It's the Black Diamond Ion or Iota. I can never remember. And then a few kind of new things. I'm going to carry this little tripod with me. This was pretty cheap on Amazon. Just wanted to give it a try since I knew I'd be doing videos to see how I like it. Comes with this little remote. We'll see if I use it. Not sure. Also for videos, these are just another thing to try. These might be a total bust, but basically this can go over the microphone on your phone and help block like wind noise, for example. So these are also cheap and they weigh like nothing. So, okay, we'll give them a try. And then new for this year, I will be carrying a satellite device. This is a satellite device by Somewear. It's the name of the company. I haven't really tested this on trail yet, so we'll see how it does, but it's just something I decided to go ahead and invest in for this trip. And it should be able to be charged by the same charger that charges that guy. Okay, let's talk about sleep system. This actually hasn't really changed, or at least this part of it hasn't. For my quilt, I'll be taking the Enlightened Equipment 10 Degree Revelation quilt. I've used that on the PCT and then every trip I've done since. I really like that quilt, and so I wanted to keep that. And then also something I'll be keeping is this Sea to Summit silk liner. I don't use that all the time, but I like having it because I do get cold, and then it also, so it adds some warmth, and then it helps keep this cleaner, which is nice because this is a pain to wash. This you can just throw in a washing machine. So that's going to stay the same, but new is going to be the sleeping pad here. So this is the Women's Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite. I went with the women's version for a couple reasons. The main differences with it are that it is both warmer and shorter, which is great because I'm short and cold most of the time, at least a lot. And so this has an R value of 5.4, which is quite a bit warmer than this pad, which I carried on the PCT, the Xped Synmat Hyperlight. R value here is 3.3. I did really like this pad, and for a while I was planning on keeping it on the CDT, and I think it would do fine on the CDT. But mostly what kind of made me want to try something new was the fact that this is warmer and also a little bit lighter. So this is around 12 ounces. This is 15-ish. So that's nice. Shed some weight, get something a little warmer, shorter. There's not an extra foot at the bottom of my feet that I don't need because I'm kind of itty bitty. And so I'm excited to give this pad a try. It's only been tested a little bit by me. So we'll see how it does on trail. This is the sack that comes with it that you can use as a pump sack, which I probably will bring because I just don't really like inflating these with my mouth. I don't know why, but I like these little sacks. Underneath here, I've got an 1/8" foam pad. This is really a replacement of this right here. I will not be bringing this with me this time. This is the Thermarest Z-Lite, about half of one. And I used this on the PCT as what I always called it, my lounge pad instead of a sit pad, just because it's bigger than a sit pad. But it's a really, really nice thing to have, to just be able to throw that down, sit on it, or put your stuff on it, and just kind of have a cleaner, drier space. And so that's what I plan to use this for. I will probably also use this as an extra pad underneath this pad, at least sometimes. And the thought there is that it'll add some extra protection. Inflatable pads, they are prone to, getting little punctures and stuff in them. And so hopefully that will help with that. One other thing to try out is this little pillow. I can't remember the name of it, but I got it off of Garage Grown Gear's website. It inflates with this little straw. I think the whole thing weighs like half an ounce. So it's very, very light. I've only tried it a night or two, and so far I think I could take it or leave it. But I want to continue to see if I like that, if that improves sleep on trail. So I'll be bringing that along to test out. Shelter is new for this year as well. This is the Zpacks Duplex tent. This sets up with trekking poles. And it's made out of Dyneema composite fabric, which makes the whole setup a bit lighter as far as the weight that you carry on your back. I've tested this out just a little bit. Its main test is going to be on trail here, but so far I do like it. I think setup and takedown is going to be super fast and simple, and I am excited about that. The tent does not come with stakes, so there are 8 stakes in here. These are the same stakes that came with my Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2, which I carried on the PCT. They're what I had. They work for me, so they're coming with. And finally, let's talk about my new backpack. This is the Zpacks Arc Blast. It's a 55-liter pack. You can see here what I carried on the PCT. This is the Osprey Kite. The Arc Blast is made out of Dyneema composite fabric, so it's lighter. I probably lost about 2 pounds on this switch here. And this is one of the things that I came off trail knowing I wanted to change when I finished the PCT. I haven't used the Zpacks pack a lot at this point. So I'm excited to give it a try. I'm excited about the weight change. Another feature that made me kind of attracted to this pack is the arcing system of the frame. So this is meant to be able to bend and therefore create a bit of a gap between the pack and your back. The reason I'm so excited about that is because on this pack, I found that breathability back here was definitely a bit of an issue. In the particularly hot portions of trail, I got so sweaty, and I am not even that sweaty of a person as sweaty people go, but I got so sweaty that this was moldy back here. It got so wet, and that was just super disgusting. And so I knew this was one thing I wanted to change. And so, yeah, going to be testing out this Zpacks Arc Blast. And then lastly, inside here, I do have a Nyloflume pack liner that I'll be using for some extra waterproofing. Well, there you have it. That should give you a pretty complete picture of everything I plan to bring with me when I start trail here. A couple things that weren't pictured were a beanie that I just forgot to include. It'll probably be this one. And then also my Deuce of Spades trowel for my poop kit has recently gone missing, but I probably will have another one by the time I start trail. So if you total all those things up, that brings my starting base weight to right around 12.5 pounds. And that even includes all that stuff in the first aid kit, some of which would be considered like disposable. That weight will change over time, but whatever. Tossed it in there, gives me right around 12.5 pounds. So feel pretty good about that. That is lighter than what I started the PCT with. I don't remember exactly what my weight was for that one, but I'm happy to have been able to cut down some weight. If you are interested in following along with me while I'm on the CDT, I will be posting videos on a regular basis. It will vary a bit depending on town stops and Wi-Fi availability and things like that. But if you want to, you can subscribe, and you should be able to get notifications so you'll know when a new video is up. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on trail.